It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Well, folks, another great show for you today. Remember, every year we have an interesting event that happens. Cindy Donlan, who is very active in lupus, they have another topic coming up July 20th, Sand Springs. Incidentally, the good people of Sand Springs is sponsoring this. But every year they have this great doctor. He was on the show last year, Dr. Andrew Newberg, who is at the Thomas Jefferson University. He's on the phone today. And it's interesting, his topic's going to be enlightenment, God-brain connection, okay? This is just fascinating. Doctor, thanks for coming on the show again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on the program.
I know you're a busy man, and boy, I really appreciate the fact that you take the time to come on to talk to the people about this particular topic. So, Doc, tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm the Director of Research at the Myrna Brin Center of Integrative Medicine here at Thomas Jefferson University and in Philadelphia. I've been doing research looking at a variety of religious and spiritual experiences and beliefs that people hold. And as you mentioned, one of the most recent books that I did is entitled How Enlightenment Changes Your Brain. We're really trying to track some of the most intense experiences that people have, the experiences that really change a person's life and change the way they think about the world, change the way they think about themselves, the way they think about relationships, the way they think about death. And these experiences really have a profound effect on people. And part of what my most recent research has been all about is trying to understand what those experiences are and also how they affect our brain and how they affect our body. And that's what we'll be talking about.
Okay, so when you talk about research, what kind of research did you do? Because what you're saying is that a person who has a faith, who prays, or who has a creator they believe in, can improve their health?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the research that we specifically have been focusing on most recently that I've been looking at is along two lines of research. One has been an online survey that I've been doing of people's most intense spiritual experiences. We've been running that over the past 5 years or so, and we have about 2,000 respondents who provided information about themselves, about their religious and spiritual beliefs, and about the experiences that they had. And this is just an incredible treasure trove of information about the nature of these experiences, what they're like, when they happen, how they happen, what circumstances help them to happen. And then we utilize that information and put that together with the brain scan studies that have been, is the second part of the research that I've been involved in, where we do brain scans of people who are engaged in different types of practices like meditation, prayer, speaking in tongues, trance states, and so forth, and try to link up what's going on with the experience that the person has subjectively with what is happening in their brain objectively, and then we can use that information to help us understand how these experiences happen, and also look at, as you asked, some of the health-related benefits, how they actually help people to improve their feelings of anxiety, depression, and that these may even have a physiological benefit in terms of improving their immune system's function and allowing their whole body and brain to work more effectively.
Okay, let me ask you, for the sake of our viewers here, when you say you had some intense spiritual experiences, could you, without naming any person, could you give me an example of one of those experiences?
Sure. So one of my favorite experiences was a description by a middle-aged gentleman who actually just had it basically driving his truck down the street, and he starts to describe how suddenly everything that he's seeing becomes so much more vivid and so much more intense for him. He began to realize that everything that he was seeing was intimately interconnected with everything else, and then he felt as if he became essentially one with this overall incredible feeling of connection. And as he has this experience, he's overwhelmed with emotional responses. He feels incredible joy and bliss and peace. And then ultimately, as the result of the experience, after the experience happens, he has an entirely new way of thinking about everything about himself, his life, and about the world around him. So this is one of thousands of examples of the kinds of experiences that people have. Other other types of experiences that people report include some of the more commonly known ones, such as a near-death experience, where people are near to death or actually their heart stops, and then they have this incredible experience of seeing the light and feeling immense love, feeling immense compassion, feeling as if they have gone beyond their self and actually entered into the realm of heaven. So there are many other types of experiences as well that occur during meditation and prayer and other types of practices. But this is a taste of what some of them are. And by looking at the narratives that people use to describe these experiences, we're able to start to understand kind of the core elements of these experiences, and that's a lot of what we talk about in the book.
Okay, so the book is Enlightenment, God-Brain Connection, correct?
It's actually called How Enlightenment Changes Your Brain. The title that you mentioned is the title of my talk.
Your talk. Okay, so what the name of the book again is, Doctor?
How Enlightenment Changes Your Brain.
Okay, now I've had on my show, I think I mentioned this last year, Ned Doherty, who wrote Fast Lane to Heaven. He had a near-death experience, and he wrote the book, which is a fascinating book. And he had this, he was dead clinically, I guess, for 7 or 8 minutes, and he experienced a lot of things, and what he put in the book actually has come true. Now, when you're Jewish, aren't you, Doctor?
Yes.
Okay. The reason I say that is I don't want people to think that this is a Catholic thing. Okay. This is for, okay. Yeah. It's everything.
It's all traditions, all types of people. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now you had mentioned last year that in some people in the hospital who were going through some surgeries or who were ill, that one person prayed the rosary a lot and felt that it helped her a lot. Now, not necessarily the rosary, but anyone who prays and believes in the Creator, I think is a little bit better shaped than someone who doesn't have any faith. Am I correct in saying that?
Well, basically, the way I would answer that is that when people do have faith, when it's something that has a positive effect for them, that they feel comforted, they feel supported, then absolutely it is something that seems to be able to be helpful for them. It helps to reduce their stress and anxiety, and ultimately helps them in terms of, because they have those different effects, ultimately they do better through whatever situation that they're dealing with, surgery, cancer, whatever it is. So, and actually, larger research looking at large surveys of people have generally found that those people who hold religious and spiritual beliefs and who participate and engage them fairly actively have reductions in their risk for dying, and they do better with various issues and problems that they face throughout life. The downside occasionally is that sometimes people wind up with a kind of negative view about religion and God. We see this a little bit more frequently, for example, in people who have addictions, where sometimes they feel that God may be punishing them for things that they had done. And of course, if somebody feels that God is punishing them, then sometimes they're not interested in engaging the medical profession and undergoing the treatments and so forth that are recommended. So overall, yes, I think when people have a positive view of religion and they feel that God is supporting them, that they ultimately are going to do much better.
When I have a guest come on my show, I always ask them, what would you like our viewers to get after the show, after the interview? What message would you like to get? So if I come to your talk on July 20th, Sand Springs, and your topic is Enlightenment, God-Brain Connection, what message would I be getting from? What kind of message would you be sending?
Well, I think one of the most important messages that comes out of all of the research that we've done and hundreds of people whose brains we've scanned, the couple thousand people who responded to this survey, is that these kinds of intense spiritual experiences are not just for the elite. They're not just for the saints. They're not just for the Mother Teresas. They're really for everyone. In all of our survey, these are otherwise regular people who are having these incredible experiences. So I think the main take-home message is that these are experiences that can happen to everyone, and part of what my research is about is trying to show people how these experiences can happen, and ultimately to help people find their own path towards these experiences. And by looking at what other people have done, by looking at the science, we hope that we can show people the paths that they can take to having these incredible enlightenment experiences that change their lives. And that, to me, is very exciting and something that people can all take home with them.
Recently, I did a show with Dr. Philip Benyo, and the topic of the show was, and he brought it up, was how the 10 Commandments can improve your health. And we itemized each commandment, and it's fascinating how it relates to improving your health. And I think what's happening here with you is, it's interesting where prayer and meditation, etc., really can improve your health. Am I correct in saying that?
Absolutely, and when you talk about the relationship between religion and health, there are different ways in which religion can contribute to health, and one of them is, as you were saying, with the different doctrines, the different things that religions ask us to do. If they ask us to not drink, to not smoke, to not be overly promiscuous, to be good, to be charitable, to help our fellow man, then as we do all of those things, they have health benefits for us. Those are the things that doctors keep asking us to do in general. But then there are specific practices like meditation and prayer, which also in and of themselves appear to have benefits. And we've done research studies where we've shown that meditation and prayer practices can help reduce depression, help reduce anxiety, help improve memory, actually change the way the brain functions. And then there's other data out there that show that that these practices help to improve the immune system's function and help to reduce inflammation in the body, and maybe actually help people to survive longer and to deal better with the various issues that they face, various health issues that they face. So there's a lot of different reasons why being religious or spiritual can be beneficial to people, and they can all potentially be helpful. All of these different reasons can contribute to the overall health and well-being of a person.
Well, I'll tell you, this is quite interesting. It's fascinating. I could probably have you on the phone for an extra hour and a half. But if I want to learn more about what you do, how can I get your books, or how can I learn more about your research, etc.?
Sure. The simplest way is to go to my website, which is just Andrew Newberg, NEWBERG.com, and people can look at our research articles. They can find the books and read about this area of research. It's an area sometimes referred to as neurotheology, as a way of looking at that relationship between our brain and our religious and spiritual selves. So it's a very exciting, it's a very new field, and there's lots for us to learn, and I'm one part of that, and hopefully lots of other people get involved.
He's going to have books at that banquet.
You'll have the books at the
yeah, he's
the
going to
talk,
have them at the banquet.
Yes, I'll also be bringing the books to the talk.
Well, listen, if you're coming in a little earlier, whatever the case may be, I'd love to be able to have you on my set and explore a little bit more with you, because I want to pick your brain. I think what you're doing is absolutely fantastic, Doctor.
Well, thank you. That would be great. We'll try to set that up.
Well, you arrange it with my secretary, Cindy, because she's on the ball all the time. So anyway, you're going to be at Sand Springs July 20th. And when we come back, we'll talk about with Cindy how you get tickets, etc. Dr. Newberg, I want to thank you again. If you want to learn more about Dr. Newberg, it's andrewnewberg.com, you said?
Yes, that's correct.
And remember, Doc, if you're coming in earlier, please give me a call. I'd like to interview you on the set if I could, okay? Good luck to you, Doc.
Great.
Looking forward to seeing you, okay? And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Folks, Dr. Andrew Newberg, always an interesting guy, isn't he?
He's amazing. Really, and a lot of things he said is true in my own life. I could
Yeah, it's when Ned Doherty was on with Fasting in Heaven, there's just one facet about near-death experiences. Folks, when we come back, we'll talk to Cindy Donlan. You were just listening to Dr. Newberg. He'll be here at Sand Springs July 20th. We'll come back. We'll tell you all about that event. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Remember, 247SSPTV.com. You can watch all of the shows we produce here and on SSP TV. My email is sam@ssptv.com. Remember, Service Electric Cablevision viewers, you can watch us on HD now, 513, on Comcast 190 in the Pottsville area, Channel 92 in the Mountaintop, Wilkes-Barre, Kingston area, Channel 190 in the Lackawanna area. Now serving close to 250,000 homes. Thank you so much for tuning us in. My guest today, I had Dr. Newberg on the show, but you heard Cindy Donlan. Cindy, it's always nice to see you.
It's always a pleasure to see you. You have the best media coverage in town.
Thank you. Now, Cindy, you call me every year about this event. We just had Dr. If this is any indication how that evening is going to be, you should be jam-packed with people. Because
We're hoping to.
This guy. Tell me about, first of all, what do you do, Cindy?
I am the public education specialist for the Lupus Foundation for Lackawanna, Luzerne County. My job is personally to get the word out about lupus, to help patients get the services they need, to help the family find support, and to educate the public on not only lupus but other autoimmune diseases as well.
Now, this event, July 20th. Now, tell me about, there's a lot of other things happening, right? So tell me about
Well,
them.
first of all, I want to plug Sand Springs Country Club. They are sponsoring the event. They're helping us out in so many ways. They're getting us, first event is going to be on the 19th.
The 19th.
Yes, it's going to be from 11 to 7. It's the Taming of the Wolf Festival, and it's going to have a bunch of prizes that people could take chances on to raise money for the organization. Out of that money, a lot of that's going to go towards a scholarship for people that want to come to the banquet and the conferences. We're going to provide money for people that can't afford at a lower level to be able to participate in these events. So a lot of that money goes towards that, plus supplies and materials that we hand out to the public free of charge throughout the year. Okay. It's going to be from 11 to 7. They're going to have free hors d'oeuvres for us this year. Sand Springs Country Club is going to provide us with free hors d'oeuvres, hot and cold hors d'oeuvres, and drinks throughout the whole day, no cost to us from Sand Springs. Okay? And then the next day, which is Wednesday night from 6:30 till 8:30, Dr. Newberg is going to come to talk about enlightenment, the God-brain connection. While you're there, you'll also participate in enjoying a buffet meal. And it'll cost you $30 if you're a regular person, $20 for autoimmune patients, and members of the Lupus Foundation. So if you could do your registration online. We're going to have a website showed up on the screen at the end of our talk. And it's basically going to be Dr. Newberg talking for an hour, and then we'll have a buffet meal afterwards. Also, that night is when we're going to call out the winners from the basket raffle the night before. We're going to call out the winners after the event. We'll have the winners' names be called. So if you got a basket on Tuesday, sign up to come to the banquet on Wednesday, and you'll be able to get your prize that night, or come during the conference and pick it up the next day. Thursday, we're going to have the Empowerment of the Alpha Wolf Conference. We have a lot of exciting doctors coming this year.
The what?
The Empowerment of the Alpha Wolf Conference.
Okay.
The reason why we call that is lupus in Latin means wolf. And at one point, the patients were considered to be, they thought they were attacked by wolves by having the rash on their face.
Oh, okay.
Hence the word lupus
Yeah.
for wolf, okay? So we want to empower people to be able to take care of their own condition, to understand their condition.
Is this only strictly for people who have lupus?
No, we want medical professionals, maybe high school students that want to know more, they need to do a project for their classes, a regular public that might have, other autoimmune diseases, because not only lupus is going to be focused on. We're going to have multiple doctors coming. We have Dr. Shu coming, who's a neurologist, to talk about multiple sclerosis and other autoimmune diseases of the nervous system, such as myasthenia gravis, those kind of conditions. We have an eye doctor coming, Dr. Diem. He's going to come and talk about eye conditions that are related to lupus, like iritis, neuropathy, the retinopathy of the eyes, those kind of conditions. We have Dr. Polidoro coming, who's an orthopedic surgeon, who's going to talk about knee replacements, surgical aspects of lupus, autoimmune diseases of the bone that affect from other autoimmune diseases.
Wow.
Yes. We have Dr. Puglisi, who's a rheumatologist. He's going to talk about not only lupus, but fibromyalgia, Raynaud's, Sjogren's, all the autoimmune diseases that can affect your system, not just lupus. We are for all people with autoimmune diseases, not just lupus. Any condition that's autoimmune, we're there to provide services for those people, and anybody who wants to do just education on those topics.
Wow, you have a jam-packed, great people there. I mean,
Absolutely.
You got great people. And so here's an opportunity for someone to come there. How often do you get all these doctors together and to be able
Right.
to, ask them questions or whatever? I mean, I think this is great.
Now wait, we're not even done. We also are providing you with a full continental breakfast, a lunch and snacks with the cost.
This is July 20.
The 21st.
21st. Okay.
Yes. The registration's at 7:30 in the morning. We have.
Can people register before that?
You could go. We
online.
want you to go online right now. lupuspa.org. You could register with a credit card, or you could send the money in a check or a money order. It's $30 for people,
Yes.
regular people, and for people with lupus and other autoimmune diseases and lupus members, they pay $20 discount price. And if you can't afford it, we do have some scholarships for a few rare people that can't afford it. We will let you come for free, but you have to show immediate financial need for that. But we do have some scholarships available for some people that are really down on their luck and they want to get educated. We're here to provide services, not to make money. So we want to help people get as much information as we can. We're going to have brochures available on all different autoimmune diseases. There's going to be lupus screenings at both the Taming of the Wolf Festival and the conference day. There'll be blood pressure screenings and lupus screenings for those who would like to be interested in getting tested. It's no blood work or anything like that. It's a questionnaire, and what you do is you fill it out, we talk about it, and then you send it to your doctor, and then they run the right test to see what's wrong with you. And all the doctors will be there for question and answer. After every talk, each doctor will stay for a couple minutes to answer questions for patients. It's going to be exciting. We have a neurologist, rheumatologist. Also, Dr. Schleicher is also going to come to talk about skin disorders as well.
You got great guys.
Yes, we do.
I mean,
absolutely. Hazelton has a lot of good people. We don't realize.
Well, let me tell you, the doctors you mentioned, they're second to none.
Absolutely.
Second to none. And of course, John down there at the Sand Springs.
I know him so much.
They do so much great things.
And
in
their
this
food
area.
is delicious, and
Yeah.
the accommodations are there. It's fully handicapped accessible, and we are going to provide.
Isn't the place beautiful?
It is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
We're
It
also
really
going
is.
to provide special diets for anybody who's a vegan, or if you have a gluten problem. We will provide you a special meal if you just contact us in advance, or if you're diabetic or something like that. We'll work without food allergies. We're willing to work with you because we know a lot of autoimmune patients do have those dietary concerns, or you have Crohn's or something like that. Let us know, and we'll try to get you something with the buffet that will be more satisfactory to your condition.
So July 19th is a specific activities for the day.
Right.
Okay. July 20th is basically the talk with Dr. Newberg.
Right.
Okay.
But we'll have baskets available throughout in the afternoon if you want to come before time and take
Before.
a chance on the baskets, because we're going to call that evening. So if you don't make it to the festival, you could come during the day on Wednesday and take a chance.
And and he'll have his books there, as we said. If you just tune in, folks, I'm talking to Cindy Donlan, excuse me, from the Lupus Foundation. I interviewed Dr. Newberg. It's a fabulous interview, folks. 10, 20, 12 minutes we interviewed him, talking about what he does in healing process. The man's just fantastic.
I forgot to mention, he was in a series with Morgan Freeman about God.
Yeah.
He was also on CNN Good Morning America in 2020.
Oh, he's been all over, yeah.
He's well
and
known.
AndrewNewberg.com is basically his website. Cindy, you know, in educating people like you do with lupus, as you said, there'll be other doctors talking about other
Absolutely,
things. Okay?
sure.
And of course, you know, you really have great doctors there. I mean,
Yeah, well, we want to give a well-rounded approach to this. That's why we did the spiritual aspect of it, because people tend to forget that modern medicine is exceptional, but you need to have the spiritual component for full healing. I know with my own personal life, if I didn't have God in my life, I wouldn't be here right now.
You know,
so we want to get that word out.
It's an interesting thing, you know. I know we grew up differently, and sometimes when you go to cities, you have people who unfortunately were brought up without a faith and don't have a faith, and their answer is science. You know, it's always science. It's nothing has to do with creator. It's always science. I pray for those people. I really do.
You have to pay
because
them.
it's sad because when you don't have that faith, no matter what faith it is, and I'm here again, it's not strictly being Catholic, no matter what it is, but have a faith and live it, you know, and be positive.
And be true to your faith, too. And another thing I want to mention is when he does the talk, we got to understand that he's not going to only just emphasize on autoimmune diseases. He's going to talk about how it could help with addictions, how it could help with depression and mental health issues, and also with pain management, because keep in mind that spirituality also affects your level of pain in your body as well. So these are other things that are going to be discussed as well. And even with the neurologist, I told him to get into some of that areas as well, because I know the fibromyalgia, there's a lot of pain management issues. So we're going to try to go to all broad areas that we can to help these patients, help you people have as much of an effective education as possible with these different activities going on.
Watch the show with Dr. Benyu, how the 10 Commandments.
I didn't know about that. It sounds very interesting. I mean, I'm
how the
interested.
10 Commandments going to improve your life. Folks, I'm talking to Cindy Donlan. We'll be back right after this. Thanks for coming back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Cindy Donlan's here, July 19, 20, and 21st at Sand Springs. What's happening for those people just tuning in, July 19, 20, and 21st?
For people that like Chinese auctions and basket raffles, the first event is Tuesday, the 19th, at Sand Springs Country Club. It is going to be from 11 to 7. We're going to have baskets and gift certificates available for people to take a chance on. There's going to be free hors d'oeuvres throughout the day and refreshments, thanks to Sand Springs Country Club. The next day is our banquet with Dr. Newberg. He's going to have the God and Brain Connection talk. But in the afternoon, if you want to come, you can take chances on the baskets before the event starts. It's going to be from 6:30 to 8:30. The cost of the event is going to be $30 for the average public and $20 for lupus and autoimmune disease patients and Lupus Foundation members, okay? You could do registration online at lupuspa.org, okay? Then on Thursday, we're having a conference. It's going to be multiple doctors, neurologists, eye doctors, skin specialists, rheumatologists, and various physicians from 8:30 in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon with the continental breakfast at 7:30. For the price that you're getting a breakfast, lunch, all the talks and snacks for $30 for regular citizens, and for $20 for lupus and autoimmune patients and people that are members of the Lupus Foundation. We do have some scholarships available. So if you call early, you may be able to get one of them if you show financial need. But we're here to provide the public with education, and that's what we're all about. We also have a meeting that meets every second Tuesday of the month at the Bowl Arena on a Tuesday night, the second Tuesday, if you want to come out to that as well throughout the year. So we try to bring you education. I'm also here to be free talks to any businesses or agencies who want to talk about anything related to autoimmune disease. I could come out and talk to your people for free of charge, and we have information throughout the year. Please get in touch with me.
And how do you get in touch with you?
Okay, my cell phone number is 570-956-0072. And I'm more than willing to talk to anybody who needs help. That's what we're all about.
Cindy
And
Donlan.
Sammy's the best. He gives us so much help every year.
Stop it. 570-956-0072. And it's really my pleasure to do this, folks, because this is a great cause, and the education you get is phenomenal. So July 19, 20, and 21st, Sand Springs, John Seaman does a fabulous job, and they're always there to help the public all the time. And it's a great place. Cindy, again, thanks for coming on the show. If you tune the show in, folks, if you missed it, because you know we showed the show a number of times, or go to our website. I interviewed Dr. Newberg for about 12 minutes. It's a fabulous interview. We'll see you next time.